Good morning, true crime friends. How y'all doing? Listen, how is Charlie Adelson back in the news again? We just talked about him yesterday. Remember when he wanted a new trial? Ugh, look, I'm going to explain everything. But first, you know what you need to do. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. That helps new people find us. So look. Yesterday, when we spoke about Charlie Adelson, he was like, Your Honor, hey, excuse me, listen, I know that I, on purpose, used my mama and daddy's lawyer, and now I've decided that was not fair, so please, can I have a new trial? And the judge was like, no. And he was like, okay. It took him 2 hot seconds to get back to his cell and call up his lawyer like, what else you got, appellate attorney? Because the judge said no. And the appellate attorney was like, don't worry about it, boo-boo. I'm billing you hourly, and I am the best appellate attorney in all of Florida, so I have many more slick tricks up my sleeve. So the appellate attorney, whose name escapes me right now, but really is kind of irrelevant, the appellate attorney was like, so listen, when they did the math to figure out how long you're going to be in prison, I think they forgot to carry a 1. And so let's ask for a resentence. You're not going to get a new trial, but maybe they can resentence you so that you're not in prison for life. Yup. Charlie got LWOP'd. That is life without the possibility of parole. So he's never coming home. And the unfortunate unaliving of his brother-in-law, which he was so clearly guilty of. Now, did he do the wet work? No, of course not. He's a dentist. He had to keep his hands pristine. But he hired a couple of Mama Lukes to go on up to Tallahassee and end Danny Markel's stay on this mortal coil. And Charlie was like, I can't believe you captured me and put me in prison just because I did it, and there was a whole big mountain of evidence to prove it. But okay, also, it did take them 9 years to get him locked up. But look, get him locked up, they did. Now he's like, Your Honor, when you sentenced me, I think you used the new math, and I was really counting on the old math. So can you please recalculate? And I was like, sir, I don't know if this is giving what you think it's giving. And so his lawyer wrote out this long thing about math and carrying the 1 or something like that. I'm not a legal scholar. I am a gossip scholar, honey. But they were like, okay, can you resentence him? And based on the way we added it up, he should get 60 years in prison instead of life. Charlie, listen. Sir, you may not be using the new math because you went to prison in your 40s. If you get a 60-year-old sentence, sir, unless you plan to live to 100, which is unlikely based on your own personal history and the prison healthcare system, also being in prison is bad for your health, I don't think you're going to live to be 100. Even if you serve like 85% of that sentence, you know, I don't know what that math is, but it's a long time. It's still basically a life sentence. But he wants to do 60 years instead of 100. Instead of life. Okay. I'm not entirely certain that Charlie Adelson understands how math works and longevity and eating all them zuzus and wham-whams over there in the prison. It's not good for your health, sir. But okay, good luck with your project. And I was like, okay, who else is in the news today? Listen, these heifers, Jody, Franke, and wait, I'm gonna mess up their names. Jody, Hildebrand, and Ruby Franke are back in the news, sort of. This is what you need to understand. Roll your mind back. Remember 9-10 months ago when these two ladies were sentenced over there in Idaho, Utah, in the Idaho region of the United States. At the time of their sentencing, I made a video called When Stinky Met Stupid. That has been a very popular video for me. I'll link it in the description box of this video. But here's what you need to know. Ruby Franke was a very popular YouTuber. She was like one of these mommy bloggers, right? She's like, oh, here's my kids. And even though they're not of the age to consent to be out here on the internet, I got them on the internet and I'm showing all their personal business and telling about their life and stuff. Seems terrible and unfair. Also, she was a real bad mom. Okay, cool. Hang on for a second. You know I done talk my throat dry. Hang on. So she's out here in these YouTube streets telling all her kids' personal business, and the kids are being abused. And the older daughter was like, Mom, maybe you should stop telling all my younger brothers and sisters' personal business and being real super mean to them on the internet. And Jody was like, Ruby was like, this is making me a lot of money. I'm also now the chief breadwinner of the family. So, shh, be quiet. Don't be messing up my dollars. And so, Ruby Franke went on with her terribleness, and then people really didn't like her. And she was like, you know what I need? Therapy. My church is going to set me up with some therapy. Enter Jody Hildebrand, the therapist. Now listen, these folks were LDS, Latter-day Saints, Mormons, whatever we call them now, child. It is not entirely clear to me. And they were like, we are a nice LDS family, and we're going to do all the LDS things. Please let me say right here, right now, I have zero issue with our LDS friends. Now listen, if you're new here, you may not know that we have established the 3 levels of Mormonism. Number 1, regular, average, everyday, your friends and neighbors, the Mormons who just like go to church and have family home evening and do all like the nice things that normal, regular people do. We call them funeral potato Mormons. Oh, we love the funeral potato Mormons. They're our good friends. They make nice neighbors. Everything is good. Maybe they trying to like recruit you into their church or whatever, but whatever. Lots of people do that, right? Funeral potato Mormons, we have no problem with. Then there's the better than you Mormons. Oh, they more Mormon-y than you. They're doing more study. They do all the like superty duper Mormon-y things. And they're judging you real, real harshly. And they take everything to extreme, but not like to the unfortunate unaliving portion of extreme, but just superty duper Mormon. Okay. So the better than you Mormons are annoying, though typically not evil. Now, if you are a better than you Mormon for too long, you might just slip on over the line and get to be a zombie Mormon. A zombie Mormon is one of these people who is just like, their brain has gone all the way to the left, and they've decided that Jesus has said they could unfortunately unalive you for your safety, for your soul. See also Lori Vallow Daybell, Chad Daybell, Julie Rowe, a bunch of other assorted folks are out here being zombie Mormons, right? We here at Gossip Rumor and Innuendo LLC, don't sue me, officially do not advocate for the unfortunate unaliving of anybody. Also, we don't like zombie Mormons. So look, Ruby and Jody looked on the internet like they were funeral potato Mormons, right? But then they started doing stuff and it's like, oh. Clearly, they're better than you Mormons, which is fine generally. What we did not realize is that they had quietly slipped over the line into zombie Mormons. Now, they didn't call their kids zombies and nothing like that, but they started doing ABUSE, like terrible, terrible things to these young children, shaving their head, locking them in rooms, keeping food from them, all kinds of terrible things. And so Ruby Franke's oldest daughter was like, I'm calling the po-po on you. And she called the police over and over and over. And the police and child services kept coming out saying, no, they seem like regular funeral potato Mormons. Shari, Franke, please calm down. Your mama is fine. Even if she's a better than you Mormon, that is not illegal. Well, what had happened was Jody Hildebrand, the therapist / maybe cult leader. I mean, if she had a cult, it was only like 1 or 2 people following her, and her main follower was the YouTuber Ruby Franke. These 2 ladies got to be very, very close. And the therapist, Jody Franke, was like, Ruby girl, you know what you should do? You should kick your husband out because I don't think he's a good husband to you. Okay. Wow, therapist. That's a little bit heavy-handed. And then Jody moved into the house with her client. Listen, a good therapist is hard to find, I'm sure. But what they're not supposed to do is move into the house with you. And then after a while, these 2 ladies who were living together and praying together, unclear, decided, you know what? This house is too small for us. Let's go live in Jody's house. Oh, she has a big sprawling mansion out there in the middle of Idaho, child, I don't know where. But out there in the country where people can't hear them scream. Talk to the kids or whatever they was doing out there. And that's when one of the younger children escaped the house and ran to a neighbor and was like, neighbor, I've been tied up. Look, I've had handcuffs and duct tape and all kinds of stuff. Then the police got involved and the police came and they were like, What is happening? Why do you have these children tied up? Oh, this is part of their therapy? Girl, you crazy. And so they locked up Ruby Franke, the former prominent YouTuber, and her therapist, Jody Hildebrand. Now, once Jody, the therapist, is all locked up, child, folks started coming out telling all of these dirty secrets. And I was like, well, please tell me every single thing. And at that point, that's when I made that video, When Stinky Met Stupid. Turns out Jody Hildebrand was not real fond of showers. So apparently she stunk all the time. They lived out in the desert, and Miss Jody wore long sleeves all the time. She was not real good with her grooming. You know, she wasn't shaving nothing. She had chipmunks under each arm. Y'all, wait. This is what I will never get over. How do you follow a stinky cult leader? I don't understand. Listen, maybe because I have a sensitive nose, maybe because I got common sense. If you stink, I'm probably not going to want to hang around you. I also am probably not going to want to be in your cult because I'm like, can we have a showering cult? I mean, I don't, ma'am, no. And so, Ruby Franke, people started going back and revisiting some of her old videos and stuff. And I was like, well, I want to see them all. Well, now, you know, I don't got that kind of free time. I did not see them all, but I watched people's YouTubes who saw them all. And Ruby Franke was like, yes, I'm a prominent mommy blogger, but you know, the devil has been after me for years. The devil been after you. You personally. Ruby girl, listen, I know that you're trying to be pious and holy and raise your kids to do all the right thing. And I personally really admire that. But based on the strength of you were doing terrible things to your children and the child services kept having to come to your house and you locked up one of your children and didn't feed them, I think the devil caught you. Maybe you didn't notice? You got 2 million followers on YouTube. Child, I'm trying to get to 15,000. You got 2 million followers on YouTube and you over here trying to outrun the devil. Okay. Instead of being over here trying to windmill on the devil, how come you don't get your cult friend to maybe take a shower? That seems like it's much easier. But look, what do I know about being in a cult and the devil and whatever? So look, Ruby Franke and Jody Hildebrand get arrested and carted off down to the police. And they're like, it's not us. I don't know what happened. I think those kids tied up themselves. And then after sitting in prison for a few minutes, they're like, wait, you know what? I would like to say, oops, I'm sorry. I'm going to plead guilty to all of my crimes and please send me to jail for the least amount of time possible. So they get shuffled on off to prison. And then the Ruby Franke's daughter, Shari, y'all, Shari Franke got things to say. Now listen, you know how your ex-husband will, or your ex-boyfriend or whoever, your ex-friends will tell all your personal business once they get mad? You know who knows that good? Your ex-kids. Now listen, she can never really be the ex-daughter, but she's like, I lived in the house with my mama. My mama is trash on every single level, and let me tell you all about it. And because I'm nosy, I'm like, girl, please tell me every single thing. Can you write a book? Can you make it an audio book? You want a podcast? What you gonna do? Because I will subscribe right here, right now. Well, Shari Franke is out here with a new book detailing her life of her trash mama and the stinky cult leader. And I was like, oh, you know, I could not get over to Audible fast enough to buy it. Yep, I bought it last night. I'm going to start listening to it as soon as I jump in the shower this morning because I love a shower book. Anyway, and one of the things she reported, Shari Franke reportedly is saying in her book is that her mama, Ruby Franke, and the stinky cult leader, Jody Hildebrand, may have been lovers? What? I have so many questions. Number one, how you lovers with a stinky person? Were y'all lovers in that, like, you just held hands and it was an emotional affair or something like that? I know I make videos in the morning and some of y'all may not have had breakfast yet, but I cannot imagine just like They lived in the desert. The toe cheese of the entire situation just put me off of everything. I could barely drink a cup of coffee after I heard this, but I struggle through because coffee is life. So I got to get over and start listening to Shari Hildebrand's book. No, Shari Franke's book. Oh, what's the name of the book? The House of My Mother. My Mother's House is Terrible. We Follow the Stinky Lady. Something like that. You know what? I'll tag that book in this video so you can find it, y'all. The gossip, the toe cheese. I will be doing a full book report once I have finished reading this book, which will probably be this weekend because it's only a 7-hour audiobook. Child, I can get that done today. Between today and tomorrow, I'm going to be done. You know why? Because I take showers, long showers. You hear me? Jody Hildebrand, soap is your friend. Maybe she thought the devil was in soap. I don't know. I think a little Dove will do you right, though. Just moisturize when you're not here for a skincare routine. So listen, I need to get on listening to this book. You need to get on with the rest of your day. Watch out for stinky cult leaders, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.